Hello, Internet user. My name's Gary of Gary's Wares. I make wooden pipes out of exotic hardwoods and other things. Today, I'm going to be making something that I invented, one of these. This is a slide loading station, and if you smoke out of a water pipe, you definitely want one of these in your life. Now, you're probably asking yourself, oh, what does it do? Watch this. So this is the slide loading station. This is the prototype, actually, and it doesn't have the amenities that the final version will have, but it's drilled to fit my grinder, which happens to be a Santa Cruz shredder. It's 2/8 of an inch, and inside are peppercorns. And the way it works is it stays in there and it doesn't go anywhere, and you just take the material that's in there and you load up your slide. Just like that. And if any of it falls down into here. And if what you're using isn't round like peppercorns, it stays in here. So it can fit slides for water pipes. And it can also do regular glass pipes, also known as bowls, that sort of thing. So the one I'm going to be making is going to be made out of orange agate, which is this stuff. And first, what I've got to do is transfer my design to the orange agate. Now, I came up with this, and I'm not keeping the camera very still because I don't really want you to have, oh look, it's raining. I don't really want you to have the measurements because I may patent this one day. Not like it's really that big of a mystery, but I don't want to make it easy for you. So then we transfer the measurements to the orange agate. And there, it's good. Now I've marked where now this is going to be, obviously, so this is going to be taken care of with a Forstner bit, and this was the prototype, my first try. You can see, I wasn't using the right size. Anyway, that's my mark for the Forstner bit, which is 2/8 of an inch. I've never done this, so I hope this is successful. I'm going to make a spot for the lighter to go right in here, so it would be like in there. That way you've got literally everything you need. I haven't marked this yet, but there's going to be a hole in the back side that's going to fit a little tool. I'll show you later how it's made. But first, I'm going to drill this out, and I'm going to drill that out. Not necessarily in that order. The holes have been drilled and the drills have been holed, and you see the grinder fits like a glove. Next, I'm going to take out all these spaces with X's and clean that up. Hopefully the lighter will fit down in there. I'm going to take care of that on my brand new scroll saw. And I've taken off the bits that I marked with an X. The whole, I really like this scroll saw. It's powerful. It cut through this like butter. The lighter holder can almost fit in there, but I don't expect it to fit in there until I take a rotary tool to this, which isn't going to be until 4 steps from now. Now my scroll saw has this adjustable thing that can adjust the bevel of the table, and I thought all the way to the right is 0. As it turns out, it's just past 0. That is 0. So focus. Why won't you focus? So expected reality. And as such, what I cut wasn't exactly 90 degrees, but I'll be able to take care of that when I take care of that line and that line, and once I take care of this bit of nastiness over there on my rigid oscillating spindle sander. But before I do that, I am going to cut out this chunk here marked with an X. But before I do that, I'm going to take it over here to my drill press, and I'm going to drill the hole for the slide to go in. I'm doing it in this specific order to avoid what's called tear out. Now, tear out is when you drill a hole and there's no scrap wood underneath, and what happens is the wood gets really weak at the end and it just sort of tears out. And I want to avoid doing this, which is why I'm going to drill a hole, then cut that out. This isn't the end of the world, but it's preventable. Which is why I'm doing this, and this is the next step. There it is after all that stuff that I did to it. And I thought I was going to be ready to sand it, but I'm not. But look at this. It actually fits in there. Ta-da! And actually, I kind of like the little mini lighters maybe a little better. It just kind of, yeah. So that worked out. I thought I was ready to sand it, but it turns out that I forgot two things. For one thing, I forgot to make this little groove here that's going to accommodate regular pipes, and I need to drill the hole for the future herb scoop. But I'm not going to put it up here like with this one, because the problem with putting it up here is you could be transferring stuff and it could fall in the hole, and that's no good. So I'm going to put the hole back here somewhere in here, and so I'm going to do that and that's in reverse order. Here it is after the groove, and the hole in the back has been drilled. And so now it needs to be sanded, and it definitely needs to be sanded. You know, look at that, and you know, little rotary tool marks. And so I use this. This stuff is great. This is a sanding cloth. You can pick these up at like specialty like woodworking stores, and it's great. It cuts the sanding time, you know, in half. In no time is it done. You just take it and rub it real good, and make sure you get all the nooks and crannies in there, bottom, and there. Yeah, that saved a lot of time. I did it just right. Yeah, I got my initials on there too. And so this is ready to be finished. Next, I'm going to take this chunk that I cut out earlier, and I'm going to make stuff out of it. Here's the chunk of wood that I'm going to make the herb scoop and the tamper out of. My scroll saw has about 25% more power than my old one did, and as such, I didn't exactly cut a straight line. See, scroll saw blades are pretty flimsy. Well, not flimsy, but flexible, and you want that sometimes, but when they have too much power, then they're just a bit too confident in their impulsivity. They just kind of find a grain that they want and they go with it. So that's why I got the wavy sort of valleys. But let me point something out, and it's this. This is the kind of thing that you want to see. Now what this is that's the mark left by the Forstner bit that I drilled when I drilled the slide hole. And this is good. What this shows you is that not only did you drill the hole to the right depth, and if it weren't for the power being up too high, I would have cut it correctly as well. These are like the little victories that, you know, even if everything else in your project goes wrong, at least you know your technique is on point. I mean, so many things could have gone wrong. You could have cut it wrong, you could have drilled it wrong, you could have transferred the design wrong, the design itself could be wrong, but none of those things happened, and that is a win. So I'm going to cut along these lines, and the first thing I'm going to make is the bowl tool, and the bowl tool is this. What I did is I cut this this dowel, and I sharpened it with a pencil sharpener, and this is a pipe cleaner that you could get at like a tobacco store, like a pipe tobacco store, and I cut it to a specific length that I'm going to sharpen this end and dull this end and drill a hole, little bitty hole at the end of that. and glue it in there, and it'll be one piece, and it will actually become a tool. So you'll have a poker on this end and a brush on this end, and I'm going to cut this and make the tamper, which is going to go over the brush. And that's no big deal. It's just a 5x8 by 5x8 or 5/8 by 5/8 little rectangle that I'm going to round. It's no big deal. Now, the other thing I'm going to make is the herb scoop, which is something like this. Now I have to use this specific piece of wood because this is the only piece of wood that I have enough room to go with the grain with. Let me go over what that is real quickly. Now the grain, you can see very clearly here on this piece of zebra wood. The stripes go this way, up and down on all sides of the block except for right here. These are little segments of the rings of the tree. So this was taken off the tree like this, in this direction. And trees are stronger, up and down than they are side to side. Like these wooden dowels. In fact, these wooden dowels were cut with the grain, cut from the tree that they were taken from in this manner, in this orientation. And you want that because this essentially is going to be internally what the handle of the herb scoop is going to be. And if you don't go with the grain, what you get are basically cross sections of this, which is definitely not as strong as, say, this. So that's why I'm going to use this piece of wood instead of, say, this one, which was taken off of here. It's the right length, but it's against the grain, so I wouldn't do it. Well, why? I'd be wasting my time to... But it's against the grain. I want to go with the grain. Fine, I'll make both, and I'll show you. But first, I'm going to cut the pieces, I'm going to drill the holes, I'm going to make the thing, and then I'll be back when everything's done. I did all the stuff that I said I was going to do, and the herb scoop that's on the top is the one that was against the grain. Now, I don't know if you could tell, resolution being what there is, but there is a subtle difference between these two. I wanted to actually record me breaking this. Before I did it, I was sort of testing it, like that, and it snapped. It snaps very easy. Let's see if I can get it to... no, that's too small. But anyway, that is why you always go with the grain, because this is solid, very solid. So always go with the grain. And here is the bowl tool. Let's see if I can do this one-handed. So you got the poker and the brush and the tamper. It's all one tool. Tamper down. And that goes in the back like that. And that goes like good. There like that. Look at that. Yeah, I just need to put finish on it. There it is, finished and ready to go with all the stuff in it. However, the slide, the grinder, and the lighter are sold separately. And the slide loading station comes with everything you see here. And I've talked this thing to death. And what's all this? Oh, well, this means that we've come to my sales pitch portion of the videos. I make wooden pipes out of exotic hardwoods. Back there is a 12-inch pipe. And right there is an 8-inch pipe. And there is a 6-inch pipe. And I also make little ones. There it is. This is a pill bottle pipe, and it's made specifically to fit into pill bottles like this. It's a little bit of extra room for, whatever. And, 2-inch chillums. I do all kinds of stuff. So, yeah. If you're interested in any of this stuff, Hit me up on Facebook, on Gary's Wares. Look at my page. Search for Gary's Wares on Facebook. And thanks for watching. I'm out.